Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebook, Bookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host, Aries, that's Aaron, and we are back in the office.
Yes, after doing our second barbecue in 2 days and having more tasty, yummy asparagus with kosher salt and olive oil. Of course, we did have meat, brats.
Oh yeah, that was just right down the alley.
She had 3, I had 2. I might be bigger than her. She eats more than me. Go figure.
Anyways. And I had a nice banana bread.
Oh yes, the banana nut bread was wonderful. Of course, it was store-bought. I didn't make that outright. I do like to cook, and one day maybe I'll make banana nut bread, but I've never been one into making breads. I might try to get into making some of the Indian breads because they might go along better with the Indian dishes, which kind of need a side. So, anyways, on we move. The topic is?
Yes, the topic me and Aaron discussed would be reviewings.
Yes.
Reviews. Not like this, but reviews.
Well, we could do a review of the asparagus. I mean, after all, it was yummy, it was tasty, it was salty, and kind of like a pretzel that you get at the fair or whatever with the cheese dip.
I want a giant cheese. I want a giant pretzel, but they only charge like $6 for 8 of them.
And it's got the nice olive texture. There were some points that I thought could have been cooked a little better because the end pieces... Actually, I just cut the end pieces off because they just didn't get soft enough over the grill. And some of the sprout tops were a little crunchy, I thought. But not from overcooking. I think they just dried out. It's best with fresh asparagus, and I didn't put enough salt on it this time, and I didn't oil it proper all over because I did them loose. So it works a lot better on the skewers. It does take away a lot of that kind of asparagus-y flavor too. The kind of
incoming message.
Ammonia flavor. Sorry, that incoming message thing came in.
Yes, ammonia flavor.
Yeah, so it kind of takes away the ammonia flavor. So if you don't like asparagus because of ammonia flavor, do give it a try because it doesn't taste anything like the ammonia-rich asparagus that you get steamed. It's very mild. So, all you do... Well, you can watch the other videos on it. Anyways, we want to talk about reviews. You buy something like a book from Amazon. It's a good idea to try to review it when you can after you've read it. And it gives an idea of what a person's looking at and whether it's good. Now, by a review, I don't sit there and mean, like, we don't have a book handy, do we? Yes, we do. But they're all Bibles. Except for the Sherlock Holmes.
Review, talk about an item or something.
No, it doesn't matter. Let's say it's a book review, right? You don't need to sit there and... here. It might be a kid's book, but... Mr. President, a book of U.S. presidents, right? Now, when you're reviewing it, you shouldn't sit there and give the plot away. You shouldn't sit there and say, well, this person went to this place and ran into this person, and I kind of thought it was lame how they solved the case, blah, blah, blah. Don't try to avoid doing that. Actually, try doing things more like, there was a lot of typos in the book, or grammar errors, or the type was too thin print in the copy of the book I got and I couldn't read it proper because it hurt my eyes and it strained. The words were too close together, not enough pages. Maybe the binding is bad and it's not going to look very nice on a shelf, or the cover looks sharp in the picture, but when I got it, it was kind of dull and lackluster, and that's the type of thing you should do in a review. Because people are concerned, can I read this because I got bad eyes and I use bifocals, etc. So, that's kind of what you should do with books. With video games, again, you don't give out the plot of the video game, but you can say, the controls of this game were very difficult to use.
Or the main thing in video games also is, if you're sitting there playing it, and you see something like, and I do this all the time on different sites, I'll go and check on some before buying a game now and be like, yes, I beat this game in 5 hours. I don't want a game that takes 5 hours. I want a game that takes like 100 hours. money's worth.
Well, that depends. I mean, I'd be glad to hear that they were. I want to know when you review a thing. It took me 5 hours to beat this game, but there's plenty of playthrough for it, so you can continue playing it over and over again. I know Lollipop Chainsaw is supposed to be about 5 to 6 hours long. Bullet Witch was 5 to 6 hours long, but I could play Bullet Witch literally for hours. It was that decent of a game. I don't know about Lollipop Chainsaw. I've thought about trying it, but the 5 to 6 hour thing kind of has me iffy. But then again, a game like FIFA or MLB The Show, those can literally take you thousands of hours of play time. So sometimes it's not necessary when it comes to sports games. I don't know.
What I was going to say about reviews, and he's talking about just in reviews, one of the things I want to talk about for my section of reviews is, besides reviewing games like whatever you buy and stuff, and you review it yourself to say, hey, this product is good or bad, you also got to sit there before buying a product and be like, oh yes, I'd like to buy, for example, if I was going to go out and buy a dog, and I wanted reviews on, say, the Moppy breed. I'd like to know what type of dog he is, if he's going to bark or yap or...
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everyone needs to have reviews nowadays, you know?
But there's... this is more, I think, geared towards what the pet peeves are of doing reviews. One of my biggest pet peeves is you get in, like, a tablet PC or an iPhone, and you go and write a review on Amazon. Oh, there are many, many, many of them out there that do this. It drives me insane. I just got this. It's absolutely wonderful. You'll all enjoy it. Yeah. There, you haven't even turned it on yet. You just ordered it. In fact, it may not even have arrived, and you're reviewing it already. And you're giving it a 5-star review, which now throws me into thinking, hey, what a wonderful product. But when I go and read the reviews at the end of the thing, the 1-star reviews, I end up finding the like 90 people out of 90 that have posted negatives out of 10,000 positives on the thing. Those 90 people are like, yeah, I had this about a month and the screen cracked. Or I had it a month and the volume died. Or I had it a month and now the oscillator doesn't work. And usually the bad reviews have the exact same thing over and over and over and over. Like this. There are like literally 5,000 or 6,000 positive reviews saying things like, just got it, this is awesome, I love it. You know, it's easy to touch. Look, this even has dust on it, if you can see that. It's dead. We got this, and within 2 months or so, it wouldn't turn on. We sent it into Samsung's Plano, Texas office, and they send it back and say, we cleaned it up, there's nothing wrong with it, it should be fine now. We tried to turn it on, it wouldn't turn on. It turns out the battery was totally fried, and then we call them again and say, we just sent this to you, you sent it back, say it's fixed, and it won't turn on. And they say, well, it's user error. We don't have to fix it. Yeah, okay, you know, that would have been real nice out of those 10,000 reviews if some people actually got there and said, yeah, within 2 months it died, the battery wouldn't work. Yeah, some people did. There are a lot of reviews out there that say that, but it looks like a great product because there's so many 5-star reviews of it. And those 5-star reviews are mistakes of people just saying, I love my new toy. So yes, that's a pet peeve. Please, if you're going to review something, use it for a while. Have it around a month or two. Don't just be all giddy because you just got a new package and toy and want to share it with the world by saying, this is so awesome. Do that on your Facebook page. Don't go and do that on your Amazon account. It makes you look like an idiot, especially when everybody else's dies a month later. And yours is, well, miraculously great because you did it the day you got it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, take some time for the items you buy, whatever it is. I mean,
I don't care. I don't care if it's a toaster. What if the coils don't heat in one corner? Are you really going to want your toast to be brown here and brown on this side, but white down here and just kind of crusty? You don't want that. So
I'm going to go to the bathroom real second. I want you to explain another pet peeve of mine about fly rod reviews and these fly fisher jack monkeys.
I don't know what you mean exactly.
Fine. Just talking to Karen.
So, yeah, she wants to talk about fly fishing rod reviews. Actually, the thing is, I find that there's a lack of them, and most people don't say what they actually can and can't do. It's just like, oh yeah, it's a 5-weight rod. I love catching fish on it. It's been good to me. When there is a fly fishing rod review.
For example,
I read a lot for you on Cabela's and
Remember
stuff, and
that.
a lot of them were simply, it's a nice rod for the money, and it does wonderful for me and my family.
No.
However, some people sit there and they're like, oh yeah, I don't like it at all because it broke on me right away. So
Remember,
some of them are actually good
what I was
reviews.
trying to ask him to say today, and
I don't
Aaron
know. She just goes and says, tell him about this. Well, she's got like 9,000 things to tell
the
about.
thing of the reviews I got yelled
You need to
at
go to the
today
bathroom.
about, yeah, I did it, wash my hands,
Oh.
about when I was asking for help for A, and this jack monkey basically said something about reviews today.
Oh, he basically told you just buy anything. It doesn't matter. A fly rod's a fly rod is a fly rod is a fly rod. And the thing is, he's sitting there with a $900 rod and says if it's anything cheaper, it's a piece of crap rod. So what's the question here? The question is he doesn't know anything about the cheaper rods. He should shut his frickin' pie hole. Sorry for my language, but that's the truth of the matter. If you don't know about, stop picking at that. If you don't know something about it, then don't talk about it. And stop it.
It's a nail.
I know but it's hurting my tooth when you do that. I hear click, click, and it's popping in my side. Anyways, and this guy's just telling her that she's a moron because she wants to know about things before buying it. It's just like, go and buy a random rod and it's fine. But that doesn't exactly work. You want to know what you're getting. We have a neighbor downstairs, a friend of ours. His grandson has tried to get into fly fishing. He's bought 4 rods, all within the price range of about $100 a piece. All 4 of them, different brands. All 4 of them broke within a week of use. In fact, 2 of them broke on the very first cast. And they were not able to be replaced. And this guy thinks that we should just buy one blindly in the dark and it doesn't matter because we couldn't tell the difference anyways. I'm sorry. If you're going to end up blowing out a fly rod, then you're not going to be totally happy with it when you don't have enough money to really even afford one. And so that is not the type of advice to be giving people. But this isn't about reviews, that's about advice, because he didn't review them. He just gave you advice to buy anything randomly. If it bothers you that much, get nail clippers out.
I don't have nail clippers.
You need nail clippers. You need to buy you some.
If and when I get to the store.
Yes. They are cheap, though.
Yes, I know, but I'm talking about the store because of other things. But anyways, for example, I did a lot of reviews before buying the TV that we currently have.
Yes, in fact, we were looking at one TV that we thought would be wonderful and great, but it turned out that there was a little problem with it. After about a year, the mirrors stopped turning. And as they stopped turning, they'd get stuck and you'd have white dots all over your screen. Well, we didn't want that, and we found out that it was about $500 per mini mirror to fix, and it'd only be fixed for like a month. So there was no point in fixing these tiny mini mirrors. And so, although the TV looked great and gorgeous, it was a floor model too that we could get, and it'd been on the floor already like 6 months. So what are we going to do? We're going to buy it, no warranty, because it's a floor model and it's going to be dead within 6 months.
Incoming message.
And the TV we ended up getting was almost the same price, but about 20 inches shorter. So, anyways, so when you're doing reviews, try to make sure to do a good quality review. You know, that's the main point of doing a review. You want to say what your thoughts are on whatever it is. You don't want to sit there and just randomly say, it's great because I got it. And that doesn't make it great, okay? That's not pertinent. That's not a review. That's just saying, look at me, I got this, you didn't. You know, box sets, for instance, I was going through the box sets I recently got. The box set for Bones is absolutely horrible, the packaging. It's dual-sided discs that fingerprint and smudge easily, and there's only 4 of them, where NCIS has 3 cases with 2 discs in each one and no two-sided. There was another one I was reading about for the Outer Limits, and they all go on one single solid spool like Lonesome Dove did, which, well, that's annoying to have to take off 3 discs to pull out the 4th disc to put in, and then put your 3 discs back on and pull them all out. You're going to warp them over time.
Dual-sided is not something I like because I had an error the other day. It was last night, I believe. That's my mom's gift to me of the bucket list. Flipped one side, didn't want to play. Flipped the other side, and it was freezing. So I either figured it was the laser on the DVD player, or it was my mini scratches
Well,
on
your
the disc.
DVD player's getting old, and you need to have something to clean them. One of those little brush cloths with the alcohol spray. So, but there's all sorts of reviews that you can do on things too. I mean, it doesn't just have to be on CDs or DVDs or video games or appliances or electronic hardware. You can actually do reviews on cars. You could do reviews on telephones. You could do reviews on pipes. You could do reviews on fishing poles.
Oh, great. Blizzard got me knocked down. I'll clean it up later.
Or coffee cups. That wasn't a coffee cup. Yeah, it was. It was a coffee cup. But for instance, like, here's a coffee mug that we have that we haven't actually even opened. But it's an actual beautiful coffee mug. It's pretty firm. It's large and deep. It can hold a lot of coffee in it, and it's got some interesting things to keep you occupied if you're bored and want to read. So, and it's, I don't know, it's just a very pretty mug. So, there are things like that too. To go with that mug, we also have shot glasses, which one of the drinks I mix is a hot chocolate with peppermint schnapps. So, this would be good for measuring out your peppermint schnapps and then putting it into the other thing, and that's a matching set. So there are all sorts of things that you can say about it. You can say this toaster is black and my kitchen is mostly white, so it really stands out in my kitchen and I don't like it being the focal point. Or, you know, luckily this toaster comes in multiple colors because I really wanted the steel colored one to go in because I have a steel colored refrigerator and I have all sorts of metal objects in my place, and one of the old style steel stoves, you know, the steel coloring, gray or whatever, gunmetal. You know, that's the type of thing that you want to tell people is, does this look good? Does this work? Does it fit? I mean, if you're buying a toaster oven, some of them are this small, and you could say, oh, it's only about 1 foot long and about 6 inches high. But what if you order it online and there's no real good description on it, and you get the box and you pull it out and you find out it's like almost 2 feet wide, but like 3 feet tall, and it doesn't fit on your counter? Well, that kind of something that's important to know. So, and I'm sorry if I was sitting out of the picture, but she was cleaning up the floor and from the coffee spill, and so I was over here.
Sorry about that. The dog jumped up on me and miscalculated. So, but anyways, yes, reviews are just, you can review many items that you purchase. You can also read reviews on items you're interested in purchasing.
You can review businesses too. That's part of what the Better Business Bureau is there for. But usually you want to report things to the Better Business Bureau. But there are places like, we're looking at moving to a Whitefish. And if you go to Whitefish Travel and you go and look at different places, sightseeing and stuff, you can read where people have gone and taken that tour, etc. And they said, oh, the people are really friendly and we had a lot of fun. Make sure you review what you do, because you want to be able to share those experiences with other people. If you had a miserable experience, let people know you had a miserable experience. Maybe it'll stop other people from having the same miserable experience. Or if you had a great experience, share it, because you want other people to be able to have that great experience too. We in this country sometimes are too greedy and don't want others to enjoy the things we did, or we want others to suffer the way we did, so we don't try to tell them or warn them. That doesn't help us learn from our mistakes or anybody else's mistakes, and it doesn't stop these people who screw things up from being in business. I should find a way to do a review on one of the local grocery stores. I'm already kicked out. I refuse to go in, but I'm afraid that they'll say it's slander or something. Samsung has actually gone after some people for slandering their product because they say, oh, it broke right away, and Samsung wouldn't do anything. And it's like, well, you can't say anything negative about this company for any reason. There are companies out there who will attempt to sue people because they slander their name. Well, we shouldn't give the companies that much credit or ability.
And then
this country and the people are not run by the corporations. The corporations are in business because of the people, and if they don't make the people happy, they need to learn that, and they need to stop going after the people and say, you got to understand that we're a business and we need to make money, and you're cutting into our profits and hurting our company. Sorry, if your company screwed up, you deserve it. You don't deserve to be selling millions and billions of dollars profit because you don't want people to know the truth about how horrible your product is. I mean, we see horror stories on TV all the time about things like that. Prescription drug company makes a drug that they know is faulty and will kill people, and they still release it. Heck, there was an episode of The Fringe or whatever that had that, and they had this person who could see into the future. Oh no, it was Dead Zone, and he could see in the future and find out that all the kids in the world were basically going to die, and the population was going to disappear to like nothing if this product made it out onto the shelves. And the company said, well, there's no problem with it, we're going to release it. And he had to prove that they knew that there was a problem with it and stop it, and he did. But that's a common theme in a lot of TV shows. So even when it comes down to painkillers over the counter. Anyways, that's all I got to say about reviews.
Yeah, I agree completely with what he said. You just got to be very careful. Companies are there to make money, but also the companies use the Supreme Court, that's my last saying, to change the thing so that your freedom of speech, like what we're doing tonight, is going to be negative, and then they could say, oh, well, they slandered us, we need billions from them, and then they get their money.
And of course, the Supreme Court and the government roll over backwards for these corporations, because the government's run by the corporations anymore, not by the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the buckage, and the people don't have the money to give the government, so they go to the corporations who get out of paying the money to pay the government, and the government goes after the people to make up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got to give the breaks to their buddies. But then again, as you find out with Gibson Guitars, they don't give the breaks to all their buddies. Some of those companies, they try to nail and put out of business because they don't want to conform with the way things are in the government.
Exactly.
So
that'll be another discussion for another time. So please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments in the box if you like. Please add us as a friend. Please post feedback and suggestions. Thank you, and may God bless the world.